Hey everyone, what's up? It's Babylonius from PeakofSerenity here with another of my 5-minute Windwalker guides. This one we will be talking about talents, going through what each talent does, as well as some general recommendations for which talents you should select. If you'd like more information about this stuff, please check out PeakofSerenity.com, where there's a lot more depth about talents, a lot more information about when you should use them and stuff like that. So let's get down to it and let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Alright, so the first tier we have our level 15 tier, the tier 1 of talents. We start with Chi Burst. Chi Burst is a casted ability. It's got a maximum cast time of 1 second, reduced by haste. It is an AoE ability. It shoots out a line of Chi, does damage to all the enemies it hits in that line, as well as heals any allies that it hits. It has a 30-second cooldown. Next is Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger is a passive. Every time you use Tiger Palm, it applies a dot to the target, which deals nature damage to them, as well as healing yourself over 8 seconds. Next is Chi Wave. Chi Wave is an instant casted ability with a 15-second cooldown. And what it does is it tosses out a bit of Chi, which bounces back and forth between the enemy and yourself or other allies, damaging enemies and healing allies and yourself. General looking at this tier, you're going to want to roll with Chi Wave most of the time. You can select Eye of the Tiger if you're using things like the legendary chest, as well as Serenity and a couple other things that really cut down on your free time. And Chi Burst can be taken in AoE situations, although because of the increased cooldown, a lot of people prefer to go with Chi Wave anyway for AoE situations, but Chi Burst will be the most damage overall in AoE. So next, our level 30 are our tier 2 talents. We start with Chi Torpedo, and Chi Torpedo, all it does is it takes your roll and provides a movement speed buff, 30% movement speed buff after your roll, as well as increasing the distance of your roll as well. So pretty much just a longer roll that gives you a running speed boost right after that. Next we have Tiger's Lust. Tiger's Lust is an instant cast, and what it does is it increases the movement speed by 70% for 6 seconds and also gets you out any roots and snares. You can use this on yourself or on an ally. It has a 30-second cooldown. And finally, Celerity is another passive. It reduces the cooldown of roll by 5 seconds and increases its maximum number of charges by 1. So you have 3 charges of roll, and the cooldown is reduced as well. So generally, Tiger's Lust is what most people are going to choose. It gives you a little bit of additional on-demand movement on top of our roll, Flying Serpent Kick, and Transcendence. Chi Torpedo is useful if you want to move a long distance for a prolonged period of time because of that stacking debuff. You can run for 9 seconds with 30% increased, and torpedo again, so you get 60 seconds for the next. So really, in terms of overall damage or overall speed for a long period of time, Chi Torpedo is best. And Celerity is useful for frequent small bursts of movement, because roll faster and more frequently with more rolls. So yeah, so that's what you do. Typically, our level 40 talents are tier 3. We have Energizing Elixir, Ascension, and Power Strikes. Energizing Elixir is an instant cast 1-minute cooldown, and what it does is it fills all your chi and your energy from whatever it is up to max. Next, you have Ascension. Ascension increases your maximum chi from 5 to 6, as well as increases your energy regen by 10%. It's 10% of what you already have, so if your energy regen is 12 seconds, then it adds 12 per second, then it adds 1.2 per second onto your energy. And lastly, Power Strikes. Every 15 seconds, your next Tiger Palm generates an additional chi. This will not stack up back to back, so it will not waste chi, sorry. So if you can't use that chi, it will wait until you can. Generally, you're going to use Energizing Elixir. It's got a much higher maximum resource output. Ascension is our least useless, and Power Strikes is if you want to be lazy or don't like Energizing Elixir. Level 60 is pretty easy to go to. Ring of Peace puts a ring down that knocks anybody out. Summon Black Ox statue puts a statue down, which taunts things to it. It gives a little bit of threat, as well as you can use it to taunt everything to you in AoE. And Leg Sweep is an AoE stun for 5 seconds. Typically, you're going to use Leg Sweep in most situations. Black Ox has usefulness in some situations. Ring of Peace is useful rarely. Typically, you're going to go with Leg Sweep. Level 70, or our 5th tier, we have Healing Elixirs, which is a 30-second recharge with two charges. You can heal yourself for 15% of your overall health. Diffuse Magic reduces magic damage by 60%, and Dampen Harp increases all damage, physical and magic, by 20 to 50%. The bigger the hit, the more the reduction. Typically, you're going to roll with all these. You have to make use of, if there's magic, use Diffuse. If there's physical, use Dampen. If there's not, use Healing Elixir. So you're going to have to use a lot. Rushing Jadewind puts a tornado of chi around you, which damages targets in an AoE. as well as applies Mark of the Crane to them for up to 2 targets per cast, not per tick. Next, you have Invoke Zuen, which brings up Zuen. He goes crazy, attacks your targets, got a 3-minute cooldown. And finally, Hit Combo is similar to our Mastery. It provides a stacking bonus, increasing our damage. It stacks up to 6 times, 2% damage per stack. Typically, you're going to go with Hit Combo for nearly all the situations. The other ones are really just not as useful right now. So I am out of time, out of my 5 minutes, which is fine, because this last tier can take a lot longer, and I will devote another video to it. But to do them quickly, Chi Orbit is passive. Orbs fly around you. They do AoE damage. They respawn every 5 seconds. Typically not used. Whirling Dragon Punch can be used in some situations. It gives you an extra ability that you can use when Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are on cooldown. It's an AoE ability with a reduced cooldown based on haste. And lastly, Serenity changes your Storm, Earth, and Fire buff to Serenity, which reduces the all your chi consumers become free and have 50% reduced cooldown. So Serenity is a bigger burst, whereas Whirling Dragon Punch is more sustained AoE. The choice between Serenity and Whirling Dragon Punch I will try to get to in a later guide video, so hopefully look forward to that. But yeah, I went a little bit over time, but I'm still getting used to it, so get off my back. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it answers more questions than it creates. If you like this kind of content, please support me through Patreon, me and the other authors on the website through Patreon and PayPal. The more donations we get, the more people suggest ideas like this, and the more content like this I do and other people do. So thank you very much for listening. Make sure to check out PeakofSerenity.com for any additional information you want. There's a lot more on there than I'm able to cover in 5 or probably 6-ish minutes. So thank you very much for listening, and until next time, I will see you later.